I think it's crazy, and I don't know how it is in the Middle East, but here in the States, finance is not talked about in the school systems, like even personal finance, right? And I'm sure that's probably by design in some facets.
Same.
Um,
It, I think it's the same everywhere.
yeah,
It's not just the US. You will be surprised how similar people are across the globe,
yeah,
you know? Sure, there is the cultural background and all of that, but I think people think the same way, no matter where you go. At
hmm
the end of the day, family values and all of these things, they are pretty much similar across the globe. So you're right. Finance is something the head of the family does. Okay.
This is a perfect
We
segue too, because I would love to know your take on why aren't we seeing more female financial investors and on FinTwit and this is anyone can be successful here if they put the work in. And I've seen some phenomenal female investors out there and putting Substacks like yourself and YouTube and all, but the percentages are just so low, and I can't figure out, is it just boring to, like, I know my wife's like, oh my gosh, more stocks, like get out of here, like that stuff is so boring. But I just can't figure it out because there has to be a population that really sees like, hey, if it make my money grow, I like, I'm on board with that, and want to learn that.
so look, I think finance in general, banking, it's always been a boys' club,
Right.
really. I mean, always. So I don't know why. Um, I mean, I love being in this industry. I love working in this industry, stocks, everything. But it's just been that way. I think when it comes to money matters, um, sadly, I think people think men do a better job. Um, it's just something that I've come across from people who are not so open-minded, let's say. So it's a lot of times people will think if I'm calling them that I'm a credit card salesperson because a woman can't be anything more than that, right? Uh, so it's quite interesting the way people view it. They think money matters should be left to the man.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and it's something that's, I think it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like this everywhere. It's you'll hardly see a female CFO. How many female CFOs do you know?
Yeah, there's not many.
Not many. I get so
I hope
excited
it
when I
changes.
see
I really do. Because I think there's value in
it is changing, and I think it is
diversity
changing.
and different perspective and experiences and there's so much to that, and I'm sure it's still mostly a boys club in a lot of areas, but there's not value in that, right? There's
Look,
you learning yourself from a lot of different aspects.
I'll tell you another reason as well. I think women manage a lot of things in their lives. Okay, not to but it's just that we especially women who are in families, even otherwise, we have 100 things to manage. We have kids, we have home, we have cooking and cleaning and all of that, making the house look nice. And finance requires a lot of brain work, okay? And it is tiring,
Yeah.
no matter what you say. And there are so many bits and pieces, like, so every day something's happening in the stock market, right? It's never a boring day. Um,
That's true.
even if, yeah, even if you're a long-term investor, um, you have the Fed meeting, and then right after that, you have some other indicator coming out, and then something else. It is tiring. And dealing with numbers, as much as you think that, oh, it's just a bunch of numbers, it's an arduous task.
Sometimes, like I know that I sh- I shouldn't check my stocks every day, but I pretty much do. Or not necessarily my stocks, my portfolio. I would say more of just what's going on in the market, because I've gotten the bug. I really love interacting with people on Twitter and watching, different financial shows, and then mostly the CEO interviews. Like that's, we talk about doing your own due diligence, right? Understanding why you're investing, and can you explain to someone what the company does very simply to, have high
Yeah.
conviction. So I always talk about, you can't buy convictions, you can't borrow it. Because when that 80% drop hits, you're gonna feel like you can't handle it.
Yeah.
Um,
True. So yeah, I think that's probably the reason that fewer women have gotten into finance in the past. But I think that's changing. Just the number of people or number of women I see holding CFAs now and getting into, some sort of, financial discipline. It's amazing and it's beautiful. With more and more women entering, we will pull up more and more women.
yeah,
We will include them more. It takes one to bring another one. So if I can support 5 other women, those 5 will support another 5, and so on. It
yeah,
will grow. I have full faith that it will grow. Um, there's nothing wrong. It's just the way it was, or it's just
sure,
how it's, it was like this in most professions, right?
right.
Doctors, lawyers, everything. It took a while before we could get into these professions and become mainstream. Uh, We'll get there. We'll take over the world.
What you're saying is there's a chance that my daughter may still get interested in stocks.
Sure. I mean, look, she's still young. How old is she?
She's 7. She's 7. She's like, Daddy, that's boring. It's boring stuff. When are you done? They always have to say, put phone down. Why my 4-year-old says, put the phone down. No phone time. Yeah, they want to go outside and play some ball with dad. So,
But it will change. And just the fact that she's seeing you invest, okay? And just the fact that you're open with talking about money. So, again, what I was saying is like, when we grew up, our parents, they never spoke about money in front of us, right?
right,
It was just something that was not done. Um, versus me with my daughter now. She knows exactly how much I earn. She knows exactly how much I have in my stocks. She helps me reconcile my portfolio. She'll sit with me and look at charts. So it's it's different now. We're more open about money and talking about it, and there's nothing wrong with it. It used to be a bit of a taboo, right?
yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, let's switch on our final topic here, um, on just the macro environment that we're in right now, right? A lot of people are,
Sure.
sad on FinTwit, throwing funny memes, oh, my stocks went down, my whole portfolio is down 10%. Growth is getting crushed. And there's kind of like multiple ways to handle this. I've seen a lot of people of the mindset of swing trading going into cyclicals. They want their money to grow. I'm more of the long-term investor mindset of, I pick companies that I want to root for, that I believe long-term will get there. And the power of compounding is the beauty of the stock market. But there's a lot of different things, trading, crypto, all these things going on right now. And we're waiting for interest rates to go up, and Fed meeting next week. How do you look at the macro environment and affect your personal investments?
So, just like you, I do have a portion of my investments which is long term. Okay. Um, but I'm not, I mean, I'm old, but I'm not that old that I only invest for the long term. I figure I have a good 20, 25 years to retirement. So I might as well use some of that for trading or, just to rotate. So yeah, I do rotate in and out of sectors as well. I do rotate through the cyclicals depending on what's happening. Um, um, and But I'd say 50% is long term, right? So that gives me the comfort. So even if things are going down, so be it. I know that 50% of my money is for the long term, and I'll be okay. Um, thing is, look, when the market is going down, that's when people start to sell, and it makes things worse.
Yeah.
So um, I'm not going to tell you how to handle your money or what to do when the market is going down. It hurts, man. I mean, I know. When you see it's like minus 80%,
Yeah.
it hurts. I know it hurts. And I'm not going to tell you, oh, ignore the noise or, any of that. We're human. We see minus 80% and it's like someone stabbed us in the gut. Um, you'll make mistakes. It will happen. And if you
Oh
think
yeah.
that that minus 80% is a mistake, so be it.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean,
so that's why the only thing I would say is diversify.
mhm.
Okay, balance out your portfolio. So for every growth stock you buy a quarter of a cyclical, buy a quarter of a, Costco, Berkshire, JP Morgan, a bit. Okay, so you'll always have a little bit of um, some stability. Buy a little bit of Apple. I mean, you want to do tech? Okay, so buy Apple.
Yeah,
Buy
that,
Microsoft.
that would be the, yeah, Microsoft and Apple would be the stability there.
Yeah,
Example.
exactly. So diversify.
Yeah.
This is my only advice to anyone, and that's the only way to deal with the pain,
Yeah.
right? So, yes, sure, your gains will not be 300% in a month, but at the same time, when the market becomes red, you won't have minus 80% either. Okay, you'll have a few greens in there.
Yeah.
Um, and those are the ones you hold on to, like, or you focus on when the market is moving. So yeah, that's how I look at it.
Yeah. And I try to set a criteria of my last video I just posted earlier tonight, me going through the scorecard. I made a scorecard for going through stocks and kind of the criteria of how do I allocate what gets more money, right?
Sure.
Brian Feroldi and Brian Stoffel at Motley Fool do a fabulous job with their YouTube channel and
Yeah.
doing. They have two different kinds, and so I kind of got the idea from that. I was like, I need to figure out how I make my decision on who gets my capital. There's only so much capital to go around, and some of those factors, uh, I like when a company has no debt. I like when a company has free cash flow already. Yeah, they may not be profitable, but I can see that path to profitability and the optionality and the revenue streams, right? Um, and I like when the market says it's overvalued. I called Nvidia last November. It was 350 billion, and I said this is going to be a $2 trillion stock, and I'm just waiting for it to get there. But it's 800, almost 800 billion now. It'll get there, right? Like the optionality and the leadership for 28 years, founder-led CEO, and the culture. And you look at what their Glassdoor ratings are; it's phenomenal. So I like when the market goes down like this because I'm like, this is a buying opportunity. Like, I don't like it doesn't really, I mean, yeah, it sucks, but um I started my investing journey really rough with getting a whole bunch of Motley Fool ads, and I'd only done 11 years of index fund investing. And so I just maxed out my Roth and 401k and SPY for 11 years straight. So compound, 0708 crash, just keep going. In 2019 of February, I kept getting all these ads about 1,000% returns in cannabis stocks. And I was like, oh my gosh, these are real. Like, look at these returns. This is insane, and I was pro legalization. I felt like it's healthier than alcohol, and there's benefits there and different things. And I got it right after doing all the research and founder-led CEOs and everything else. Got at the height of the bubble, put half of the money into a basket of those stocks, and then half into tech. Luckily, four of those main tech names I got most of the funds were Shopify, Trade Desk, Mercado Libre, and NVIDIA. So winners, as David Gartner would say, my winners kept winning and they carried my losers. But to see 60%, 70% red portfolio on the other half, and to learn the hard way from like Aurora Cannabis, what stock dilution was, and all of these different things that I should have known before playing with stocks there. Yeah, that was tough. That was tough. And I haven't sold a share of any of those. I think maybe some of the accounts of holdings have went down to nearly zero, but the thesis is still there. The thesis is it will eventually get legalized and
And they may come back. Yeah.
But
if you have that time horizon, then great.
Yeah. Now I will say, going through that, I haven't bought a single cannabis stock since then. So
sure.
all tech, all that's my area of expertise. 20 years of tech sales. So this has been fun. This has been a lot of fun. Any lasting words that you would give new investors who are scared to invest, or even maybe some that they've seen only goodness in 2020, and now they're going to experience the other side of maybe the market? What would you leave our audience with?
Read. Try to learn as much as you can. Okay. I always like to say reading is my superpower, because I'll read anything and everything I can get my hands on. Doesn't matter. It could be anything. So reading will make you stronger. It will broaden your horizons. Industries, you'll know more about everything. And when you do invest in something, go small, start small, right? It's more fun to have smaller positions in 10 different stocks than to have a big position in one stock and then it just blows up. So what's the problem? We've got 6,000 plus companies on the stock exchange. Why do you need to go behind one stock?
Yeah.
Find winners. You can find winners in every industry. You can invest at any time, even in a recession. It doesn't matter. There's always a way to make money out of the markets. So, and the only way you'll get to that is by reading knowledge. So learn, read, you'll always find a way to make money.
And if you don't like reading, Audible is great.
Absolutely. Or the YouTube videos.
Yeah, I do Audible. I've done the YouTube subscription so I can turn the phone off and still hear. And then also an app I just got like 2 months ago. It's called Speechify. It can take any PDF, any article on Seeking Alpha, and turn it into an audiobook. So when I'm cutting the lawn, or that typically when I'm doing my yard work, I get all the knowledge fed in while I'm working. And it's been great.
So this is where I'm still old. I like to read, although I don't have any white hair, but I'm quite old. So no, but whatever works, man. We have so many mediums to learn from now. And man, if I had what these guys have, I mean, in my day, we didn't even have Google. So we used to go to the library. Why do I have books? Because that was the only way to learn.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to learn. So even if you're not reading, what I mean is learn.
Yeah.
Gather knowledge. Don't just make bets. Don't go in blind. Don't do it for anything. Not in investing, not in life.
I heard something, you wouldn't do that on your, if investing was your real full-time job and you were in a New York office. If you wouldn't do it at work, don't do it in your personal investments.
Sure, that's well, not really. You can be a little bit more aggressive in your personal investment.
That's true. Don't take it too literal, but yeah,
I think they're saying it more from the ethics perspective.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. Yes. Well, thank you so much. Where can our audience follow you on Twitter as well as your Substack?
Absolutely. So I'm on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Common Stock, and of course I have the Substack. Um, I'd love for people to subscribe to the Substack. I think I put a lot of work into it every week. I really love doing it. I love and if there's anything that anybody wants to see or any questions, I'm happy to answer them on Twitter or LinkedIn. That's fine. Um, that's about it.
You heard it here, guys. So follow Ayesha Tariq. Thank you so much, and I look forward to doing this again.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun. I had a really good time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.